Okay, let me get my coffee. Uh, Good. This is Jerry Diamond with How to Get Out of Babylon. I was texting a bunch of people to let them know I was going to be on, and my phone went dead right as I finished the last one. Whatever you call it, Wi-Fi. I got one set up on hotspot up there. I think you can see it. I saw it earlier. It's up pretty high. It's up there on the shelf. That black thing you see up there, that's my Tab A, Samsung Tab A. So that's set on hotspot, and that my phone's on taking it up on Wi-Fi. So there we are. That's what we're going to do. I had the other tablet ready to go, but I don't know if the audio's that good. It's not good for me to listen to. Not that I listen to anything when I'm doing this, but I kind of wonder if the microphone's as good as my phone. So let me know. I was going to say, hey, let me know if it's any better, but you don't have to do that because it's not going to be on my tablet. I'm doing my phone. Okay, so shut up. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so wired. Tired, wired, and fried. Whatever. However you want to call it. Um, I just pulled the title for this evening thing out of the hat. Just kind of what's been going on. Just I got about maybe half a night's sleep last night, which is not good for me. I need to get 8 hours sleep, and I haven't gotten to sleep before midnight for days on end. So pray for me that I get some sleep earlier, maybe tomorrow night, not tonight. It ain't gonna happen. When I'm done with these things, I'm just wired. So I researched, and last night was just insane. I talked to a couple. Hello there, you crazy couple. Wayseers. I got to start linking things here, okay? Maybe I can get my phone on, or the tablet on note-taking capability and record, because nobody has sent me a notes on what I'm talking about. Nobody never helps me out there. Send me a text of everything I mentioned. Make it a whole lot easier on me. All right, let me see here. This thing's so slick. It's brand new, basically. I haven't used it much at all. It's so damn slick, I can't hardly hold on to it. Okay, where are we at? Home page. Give me a break. Give me a time. Give me a few minutes. Fiddly dee. No network connection. My app. No crap. All right. Where is it? There we go. Try that one. Text. Notes for tonight. We're going to have so much fun. Notating. I could actually maybe just get the whole darn thing. Look what that's. We're going to have so much fun. Then I said something else. Calm down. Rewind. Rewind. Anybody remember what did I say? Something set off a bunny trail in my brain. Right now, I'm too tired to be bunny trailing. Tell me what I said. Somebody, there's 5 of you on there. Somebody got to remember. Come on, hurry up. All right. What did I just say before I went blank? We're going to have so much fun. I want to tell a story about that, and I'll think of it again. If not, I'll just forget it. Okay. So I'm gonna keep an eye on my tablet here. Let me set this up so I can see it. That ain't gonna work. Rudder, we can. One more minute. We are going to have so much fun. Okay. All right, back on. Sorry, that is. What movie is that from? Fiddle-dee-dee, Millie. Somebody tell me. The one guy here, he said, I realize that for me to be able to understand and communicate and talk about what Jerry's saying. I would have to watch about 300 movies that I do not want to watch. So, fiddly dee, Millie. What movie and who said it? Okay, here's another one. I'll tell you a bit of a story and tell you what happened here, and then I want you to tell me the movie, the scene, and what it means. Okay, I'm just gonna hum, or it's a theme. It's a theme. Da, 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 do, 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 do. Do 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 do. And it's not like somebody has a blonde. How many D's are in banana? Okay, so what theme is that? What movie is that from? What was seen in the movie, and what does it mean to me? And I'll tell you a story here. So once upon a time, a guy got a hold of me. His name was Greg. Very prophetic man, very holy man, very godly man, very powerful man. He was building all by himself. He was logging out in the forest in the Ozarks, cutting the trees down, chopping them off, logging them, taking them to the mill, having them milled into lumber. And he was building a 3,000 square foot cabin with a complete wraparound porch, 10-foot wraparound porch. That makes it about a 4,000 square foot cabin. I did the math on it. I think that's pretty accurate. About 4,000 square feet. Okay, at least 4,000 square feet. Cabin. Every room was going to be different. One was going to be done in cherry wood, one in black walnut, one in pine, red pine, one in white pine, red oak, white oak, sorry, pine, cedar. One would be done in cedar. And amazing guy. He said, I can build anything, do anything, fix anything, weld anything, make anything out of wood. I'm just a very blessed man. Anyway, he found me because he got online for the first time in his life. He'd never been online. This guy would work by headlight. He said, I became a Christian out here in the woods all by myself. He said, Jerry, if you don't think that God can save someone out in the woods with nobody witnessing to him, nobody preaching to him, nobody talking to them, I'm here to tell you that's what happened to me. He said, I got saved. I started reading my Bible, and I started having really weird dreams. And he said, I'm a very upfront person. He said, I'd tell people what my dream were, and people, you should be locked up. You should be in a straitjacket. You should be in a nut house. You should be in a mental institution. Because he's telling them dreams about the end of the world stuff, just asteroid hitting off the East Coast, massive earthquake, parts of the United States sliding into the ocean, things like that, like the West Coast sliding into the ocean. So, long story short, he got tired of being told that he was a nutcase, nutted up. He said, people are saying he's nutted up. That's a good phrase. I'll tell you a story on that one. But he got tired of hearing that, so he bought an Apple iPad and had them teach him how to use it, and he learned he could charge it with solar power, so that's all he had was solar. He's completely off grid. Charge it with solar power, so he would get online, and he did try. If anybody else in the world that was talking about this kind of stuff he was seeing in his dreams, he found me on Archaven, Ken Updegrove's website at the time. He was a webmaster, is a webmaster. Found my material on Ken's website, and he told me it took him 2 weeks to find me, to get a phone number for me, because he called me. He didn't email me, he called me. He dug it up on YouTube or something, however he got it. He found my phone number. Might have paid for like instant checkmate or something, which I've done to do background checks on people. But anyway, he called me up and he explained what was going on. And he said, I found you. And he said, but you need to, he said, I know that all the information on that page is your material. He said, I can tell that. Mm-hmm. I know that. He said, you need to get Ken to put your email and your phone number on there so people can find you. He said, it took me 2 weeks to find you, of hard research to find your number. So I did, and for quite a while, Ken had my information on there, my map, my phone number, my email. And then because on my channel, on my YouTube channel, I did a couple of videos about flat Earth, and he pulled all my information. He kept my research on it as pretending it was his, but, he got rid of my phone number and my email address and whatnot. So very disgusting, very bad. And I pled with him not to do that. He'd done it before. He'd broke fellowship with me before, and it could me being demon possessed, etc., etc., etc. I was talking about hardcore science, the difference between ground to ionosphere and the differentiation in the electrical potential and biorhythms are natural, the circadian rhythm and things. And they say, oh, you're demon possessed, whatever. Okay, anyway, so the main guy behind that, his wife died shortly after because he didn't listen to me. If he'd listened to me, she would not have died of a massive myocardial infarction. Okay, so that's called a heart attack in layman's terms. Okay, so anyway, moving right along. So anyway, so Greg finds me. He calls me up. Oh, I'm getting my story. Okay, yeah, that's all just bunny trail and background. That's the backstory. So on a Monday, I kid you not, on a Monday, we're talking on the phone, and he said, I pray for, I have a really interesting and powerful prayer life. And I was like, oh man, about it. Pray for me. And I said, okay, I'll pray for you. So the next morning, I'm not even awake yet. About 10 o'clock in the morning, I get slapped on the foot, and my ex-wife's now, like, the mother of my father, I want you out of here by 2, and I want you all your stuff out of here by 2 weeks. She had filed the restraining order. So fast forward. So, I got some stuff out, and so I'm in the process of loading stuff up. I had a guy over here that was helping me. We're loading stuff into a trailer, I'd see something else. I have all kinds of projects. You understand? I've got about maybe two. I'm guessing closer to, honestly, seriously, about 500 projects that I have parts for. I brainstormed, I've invented, I've designed, and everything that I've ever designed in my head always works. So, rocket stove, in-ground thermal mass rocket stove, using the earth as heater, sleep on a warm earth, and whether you're in a Walmart tent, a cheap junk tent, or a yurt, a teepee, even an apartment or a little trailer, you can be doing that. Sleep on warm earth. I've always wanted to do it for a trailer. Okay, anyway, so point is that, what's my point? I don't know. Okay, so he's helping me load up, and I'll see something. I just bring back. Oh yeah, that's really awesome. That's so cool, and I can't wait to be building this. And at least for me, it was into my world. Got my whole world pulled out from under me there. But anyway, so I'm seeing this and going like, someday all this stuff's gonna be necessary. We're gonna have to be building these things, and by the hundreds and thousands and millions. And so I'd say we're gonna have so much fun. But the whole time I'm doing that, every once in a while I'd say that, but the whole time I'm doing stuff, I'm humming, and I'm humming. Do 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 do. So I want you to tell me what movie that is, and the theme, whose theme it was, the scene in the movie, and why it means a lot to me. And if I can crack that one, I'll send you something, whatever. I'll do something special for you. Okay, so anyway, that's I'm gonna wait and give you give you all time to tell me the truth on that. Some of you have already told that to, I'm sure. All right, so anyway, but we're gonna have so much fun. What I mean by that, and just I'm so excited. I'm just so excited. It's hard for me to sleep. It's gonna be It's gonna get to the point within the next few days, if this keeps going on, that I'm going to be at risk of my health could suffer. I'll put it that way. I'm not going to say any more than that because I don't want to speak things into existence. But it could get bad for me. I had a bout of my son called me and told me some things. His wife's health was in very bad health in home, and that just set me up because I'm thinking. I told him, I said, do you realize that you're being forced to do what I wrote about in my book 20 years ago about having a clean, natural environment home? And I've written about and studied to the nth degree, all this stuff. I said, and so I was very excited about that. And then a young man called and said he's going to spend the summer here in a fifth wheel and do a lot of work on it. Oh my God. Between the two of them, I just went, my brain went, and the smoke was coming out of my ears. And one time Elaine held a pendulum over my head and it started going around in a circle. And within a few minutes, and she was not moving it. If you understand how a pendulum works, it's like electrical energy. You can dowse with it and whatnot. But the thing is zipping around almost at a almost horizontal. It's zipping so fast, and she hadn't moved at all. It was just like spinning like a helicopter from the energy it picked up over my head, my crown chakra. So anyway, okay, blah blah blah. Either here or there, but anyways, I thought that was the bunny trail again. What's the bunny trail? I don't know. Okay, so anyway, that's the deal. Yeah, I'm wired. I'm tired. I'm tired. It's all because of Ed and Jen and Jim and Linda and who else? Uh, Leah. I think Nick, if I'm not mistaken. Ed and Jen last night. This couple are just a hoot. Oh my gosh, I was just cracking up. We had a great time. Awesome. There's so many good things are happening. I get tired of people going. They're doing this. They're doing this. COVID. Blah 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 blah. I don't usually use that word as a rule of thumb. You know, the pandemic. I'm like, well, now that we have what all Satan's doing in the world, why don't we talk about a little bit about what God's doing in the world? Let's talk about what my dad's doing, my father's doing. The hell, I don't care about what Satan's doing. I don't care what they're doing. They are doing. I don't give a hoot about that crap. So anyway, yeah, that was a factory here. Remember, we're gonna have a whole manufacturing warehouse, warehouse for parts and bins and hundreds to build things. And I mean, I can't wait. Oh my gosh, get here sooner than later, people. We're gonna have a lot of fun. Basically, it's gonna come down to you're gonna have the most fun you've ever had in your entire life. We're gonna be laughing and joking. The world's gonna be going to hell in a handbasket in Alaska. Spray foam business. They ran a truck stop. You can find it online. Some at North Star Truck Stop in Tok, Alaska. Log cabins there at 50 below zero. Tunnel whacking, EMT, all those things. He's building cabins. I learned that so I could help God's people in the end times. Then he'll stop and he'll say, almost crying, he'll go, and you know what, Jerry? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. And I'm like, hey, don't worry about everybody else. He said, I care, and that's worth more than everybody else put together. He don't understand that at all, but anyway. You don't understand that at all, but anyway. So when this kid said that, I started telling him that. So when this kid said that, I started telling him that, and he said, "Are you telling me that nobody's ever said that to you before? Has your wife ever said that to you? I believe in you." And I said, "No, nobody's ever believed in me. Nobody's ever said they believe in me. Certainly not my wife. She'd be the last person on earth to say that. She was opposed to everything I was doing. Fought me every tooth and nail. I mean, I shouldn't say things like that because, for about 20, 25, 30 years, something like that. We were really close. We did all kinds of great stuff. We did Y2K together. It was her. She was the one that started the whole thing. We had an awesome business. We did Pilgrim's Products. Okay, look, this website's still up. You can look it up online. It's an Angel Fire website, so it was free and it's still up there. Look up Pilgrim's Products, British Burkfield water filters, Pilgrim's Products, cylinder stoves. There's a page up for both of those. You can still see what we were selling there. And we had an awesome year. We sold more stoves and ovens than anybody else in the country except for Cabela's catalog, and we missed them by one single solitary sale. Phenomenal year. It was just blast. That was a bunny trail. Why did I bring that up? I don't know. Anybody remember? Sing it out if you know. Bunny trail. Okay, so I was talking about Y2K. My wife, yeah, we did a lot of things. I mean, we did some fun. We did Rainbow together, Rainbow vacuum cleaners. Won 2 trips to South Padre. Well, a trip to South Houston, one to South Padre Island, and just had a blast. We did everything we wanted to protect them from anything. We took them with us to every meeting we went to. Prophecy Club, religious meetings, political meetings, patriot meetings, militia meetings. They were there. I mean, my two oldest children had lunch with the chief agent in charge of the FBI in Denver after the Murrah building deal. I said, we need to have lunch. I used to take kids over, so I took my kids there, and they were just dumbfounded. There was a cop, a state patrol, I think, or a police guy, intelligence division, and the FBI guy. Anyways, it was so to crack up because they were like, "What are you kids doing here?" I said, "Well, they're my kids. They go with me. Why would I shelter them?" So anyway, at one point, that was a crack up. Okay, so anyway, all right, shut up. So we did not mollycoddle or protect our children from anything. We took them with us. They went camping with us. 30 below zero. I had my three oldest children with my oldest daughter, my son, and my youngest daughter. Three oldest children were with me when we went camping at 30 below zero. And I've told that story before about me and my two daughters. We stayed up too late, and my son went to eats a hot dinner, goes and gets in his sleep bag. He's fine. He's slipped through all Diamond family, survival experiences. My daughters and I stayed up too late sitting around the campfire. All three of us got cold at 30 below zero. I had to open my coat and zip my thing because the fire was so good. By the time I got up from the fire and walked and got in my sleeping bag, my teeth were chattering. I was getting hypothermic. So both my daughters were 30 below. Yeah, she didn't pay attention to do something here. I don't know what I'm going to do. I just poured my heart out. I have no idea if anybody heard it. I'm going to have to shut it up. I think what I'm going to do is shut down and figure something else out. Make sure that it's on. It's getting the tablet. I can't do the tablet much higher than I have. So we got problems here, people. I'm going to have to do something. Well, I'll just keep an eye on it, number one. Can anybody tell me where you lost me at? I don't know how long I was off. Recount what I said and what we were talking about. Please and thank you. Buffering bad, yeah. Buffering, yeah. Okay, so what was the last thing you remember me saying? Somebody get that into me real quick here. How long ago was Y2K? How many years? How much? Come on, y'all can figure that out, can't you? Zimbabwe Zach. What year was Y2K? 1999. It was 22, 23 years ago. Started in December of 1998. The first expo I went to, my wife and Ian went to that one. That was in Denver. The next one was in January in Lubbock, Texas, and Ian and I went to that one. It was an independent one. It was great. It was put on by Michael Bunker. Michael Bunker was the guy that was the spearheaded, the brainstorm, the inspiration for the Beyond Off-Grid documentary that I was in. I was the last one that he interviewed for that. Okay, so it looks like we might be on for a while. Hopefully we'll stay on. Can somebody please tell me what I said the last thing you heard me say, and how long was I off? Because I was talking a lot, and I don't know what I said because I have my eyes closed. I need to keep my eyes open, I guess, for a while here. Let me said heads up butt, hiding from the truth about what's going around them, like treated like mushrooms. Yeah, keep you in the dark and feed your shit. I mean, Pilgrim's Progress, that was 1999. I said that already. So. 30 below zero. Okay, good. Teeth chattering. Okay, thank you. Thanks. Is that Ed or Jen? Thanks, guys. Yeah, that's good. So I didn't lose too much. Okay. So yeah, survival experience Y2K. No, survival experience Rockies 30 below zero. Okay. So point being is we did not protect our children. We took them to everything. I mean, we did a lot of crazy stuff, live fire exercise, and my son and I got out of place. And if my daughter had been out of her zone of fire, she could have put a bullet right through both of us because she was firing constantly, firing and reloading, firing and reloading. We were moving and supposed to shoot, move, and communicate. It's a stupid thing. In fact, if you ever hear me say, "True story," as Bob, the head of the Republic of Texas, would say, I'll say that story. True story, as Bob, the head of the Imperial Guard of the Republic of Texas, would say. There was a standoff down in Texas, and Bob Scheidt was the head of the Imperial Guard of the Republic of Texas. And I personally think he was probably a Fed, And we did a live fire, and out of position, her zone of fire, and she not deviate from her zone of fire. Her and Ian one time went with a Vietnam vet who'd been 3 tours in Vietnam as a Green Beret, lifelong Special Forces. He took him on a map and compass exercise training, Special Forces exercise, just personal deal. He was a friend of ours. He's a guy that we lived with in Kansas for 4 years. Okay, so he took him on a map. I'll use one of Jen's favorite words. No, I'm just sorry. Shut up. Okay, so he comes back and he goes, "Your daughter Anna He's a Green Beret, all right, military, right? He goes, your daughter Anna effing scared me. She scared the shit out of me. I said, what are you talking about? She goes, she is a freaking machine. He said, if I gave her a bearing to head from here to Campo, Colorado, 200 miles away, she would not miss it by 200 feet, by 200 yards. So Ian, he just screwed the pooch. You know, Ian just screwed the pooch. He used a different word, but he said, Ian just, he did it. He got there, but he cut corners and he cheated and did some dumb stuff, you know, but he got there, you know. And Ian has always had a very good sense of direction and stuff. When we go in the mountains in Colorado, you know, he was about 2 years old, 3 years old maybe, and he go, are we going to get lost? And I said, I think we might already be lost. You know, I just kind of play into it. The kid he would not look at the front. He would not look at the way we were going. He would look backward, and he memorized every detail. His mind was very sharp. So on the back, I'm like, I'm not sure which way to turn. He goes, to turn here at this big tree, you know, that yellow house. Yeah, we passed that rock there. He recognized the rock, the tree, the mountain that looked funny like a whale or something. He remembers every single landscape, every single, what we call them, landmark. Memorized everything. That fence that had a broken, you know, piece in it, a broken post. He'd memorize it, so he only get lost. So he's got a very sharp mind, you know. Just grown up to be quite a guy. He's learned a lot of stuff, and very blessed. He may be. I would hate to think of this. I mean, not hate to. I would love to think of the fact that if he's not had the double blessing of a patriarchal blessing, you know, from me, from tribe of Judah and Joseph. 1 Chronicles 5:2 said, to Judah was given the scepter, but to Joseph was given the birthright. Okay, and if he's already like doubly blessed, but not because of me, because I never. So I could see having another son or one of my younger sons, and actually pronouncing that blessing on them, and just watch their life just become miracle after miracle. Wow. So much to talk about. We're going to have a lot of fun. I'm just telling you that. I mean, this is going to be blast. Fun city, fun city. So on that note, I talk about the idea of tinkering. Okay. Everybody knows what the town tinkerer was. He's the guy that fixed your pans, soldered it, fixed your wagon wheels, shoed your horse. You know, did metalwork, did woodwork, did everything. And Jack, little Jack, out there on Meth Mountain, is a tinkerer. Probably the best one I've ever known in my life, from what she tells me. I don't met her yet, but I believe that. And Rock just today said, "Hey, you call this woman a tinkerer?" He said, "I'm a tinkerer too." And Dave Seuss is a tinkerer, wants to build things. I want to build. I've got about 700 projects. I think if I listed them all, I could come up with 700 projects that I've designed, invented, worked, hacked, simplified, made less expensive but effective. You know, anything from sharpening knives to big factory, whole warehouse of that. But on that note, back to Jack. She's in a very bad place, as is well, Rock's doing okay. He's about getting here. Dave talking about just selling this thing down there and just getting up here. That would be nice if he would do that. And just today, I talked to a brother out in Florida. He's on tonight, I believe. What's his name? Jim and Linda. Yeah, Jim and Linda. And he does woodwork. Oh my gosh, he's got every woodworking tool in the world. Oh, negative ions. It's just Don Tolman today. He said, "Do what you have a passion for. Do what you love. Do what you have a passion for." Do you know what passion is? What was the past part of it? I don't remember. But ions, you're passing negative ions. Your pass ion. Your pass ions. You're passing ions. Passing ions. Negative ions are powerful. If we can, the more negative ions in an area, the more healing it is, the more powerful it is. Just really stress. Get a negative ion generator. You can buy them on eBay for like $5 or $7, the little ones. I have one right here. I think I've shown it to you guys before, but let me grab it if I can get it without getting shocked. It's a shocking experience because the generator runs about 50,000 volts. I just see if I get it. it hits the my legs are grounded down there. It's kind of it just gets my attention. I'll put it that way. Let me try to get it out here. Oh man, tied up with a headset from a radio. Yeah, I could move the phone, I suppose. Let me do that. That might be more intelligent. Maybe it won't be. I don't know. I don't know if you can see it. Little thing like that. Rotate device. I don't rotate device. It's a little pot, with a Zener diode or something in it. Where is it? And then a little carbon fiber needle. It's a needle point. What instead of using stainless steel needle points, it's got a what you call it, a doohickey, a thingamajig. Carbon fiber needles is what it is. So, okay, that was maybe not. But when I put it to my nose, you smell like fresh rain smell. Not ozone. It's not ozone, but negative ions. When you have a rainstorm, you have negative ions and a massive amount of negative ions. That's why plants grow so fast. And the ozone, kind of a combination of the two. But yeah, phenomenal thing. And it'll put you so hard. That's why salt pipes are so powerful, because they emit negative ions. You're sucking up negative ions. Salt is negative ions. Well, somebody said the other day that on here that salt raises the energy of oxygen to another level. I totally believe it, because I will breathe in a salt pipe and I'll inhale, exhale. When I first started using it, I'd put it in the crook of my arm like this, just like I'm laying right now. I'd lay on my right side. Put it in the crook of my arm and breathe in through my mouth, exhale through my nose. Inhale through my mouth, exhale through my nose. Inhale through my mouth, exhale through my nose. Inhale through my mouth, and then stop breathing. Literally stop breathing. And what that told me was that, and it wasn't a scary thing. It was just like, oh, cool, man. My lungs don't have to do any work, because I got there in 4 breaths. Within 4 breaths, usually 3 breaths, I would have so much oxygen in my blood that the parasympathetic system, which is the parts of your body that you don't have to tell, unless you're a blonde, you don't have to say breathe in, breathe out. I'm just joking, but there's a joke about a blonde. She's in a beauty parlor, and she has a headset on, and she says they're going to put her under the hairdryer, And she said, whatever you do, don't unplug this. Do not turn this off. The cassette, cassette recorder. And they thought they just kind of a joke, so they turned it off. I could pull off and then put the phone off, take it off of Wi-Fi, but if you got any suggestions, let me know. Together. Oh my gosh, get 15 MacGyver around a campfire. Now I can't even pull up the live chat. That sucks. Oh man, that's stupid. There it is. Oh, we got a crystal lover out there, Zimbabwe Zach. That's one of the reasons why they said I was demon possessed or demonic, because I used the word crystals. Now, do you know? And my question to that guy was like, dude, you're writing to me on a phone which is based on crystals. Your computer uses crystals. Your piezoelectric stove, get rid of it. That's got crystals. That's demonic. If you want to get away from crystals, you're going to have to go live in a cave. Oh, sorry. Cave, 8% silicon dioxide crystal and sand, crystals. So you got high silicon. Conservative Christian moron. The creator of the universe created crystals, you dumb shit. Pyramids are demonic. Pyramids are satanic too. That people say that. Okay, who designed the pyramid? It incorporates phi. Anybody know what phi is? Nobody's answered my question about Nobody can't answer that yet. Come on. Anyway, pyramids. What is phi? PHI. What is phi? Ed and Jen, you can answer that. Come on. What is phi? I'll give you a hint. It's a Greek letter. I can't get live chat. Haven't had a TV in years. Jack, you're way behind me, and we haven't had a TV since '93. Got you beat. We do something similar with nanocrystals that stimulate stem cells. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, healing is going to be so powerful. Such a powerful thing. I sent you all, some of you, I think to Ed and Jen, I sent you a passage that I wrote years ago. 2004, I remember very clearly, 2004. We're trying to keep a lady from dying of cancer. So we bought a Rife generator, supposedly, and we had the organite devices in the little ad that came, flyer that came with, so I bought a couple of them. A holy hand grenade and a sucker punch. Oh my gosh. Don't get me started on that. Bunny trail. Which that led me to, I started making organite devices like tower busters, mini muffin tower busters, and imprinting frequency in them, Schumann resonance in them, 7.83 Schumann resonance, while they're occurring. So by the time I met this guy, and it was, like I said, it was my research, my technology, the name, the icon, the name of the company, yeah, the tuning element, the icon, two tuning forks butted against a frequency. Like Tesla said, the world is frequency. So we speak, the human voice can speak things into existence. And that's what I've been doing more and more of now. That's gonna accelerate. That's gonna accelerate big time. So what do I mean by that? We are created in the image of God. Imago Dei is a Latin theological term, but what it means is that it doesn't mean that God looks like a human. That's not what it means. We're not created in God's image in that way. The word created in the image of means to go into the office and do the work of. Not like Obama putting your feet up on the desk and scuffing it up and everything, being like a jerkwad, but rather, to do his work. And what does God do? He creates. He's a creator God. We are supposed to create a new world, a new universe, a new life, and that's what I'm intending to do. Create a new, completely different world than the one we're living in now. And we can do that. And Ed and Jen, a lot of people understand that we can do that. We are going to be making a different world. We're going to change the water here. We're going to build hollow homes for people. Here's an interesting little tidbit. Today, Bill was talking. He's one, harbinger of bad news. Give him Satan all the free advertising he needs. But one thing he said is that 40 million people in this country. Get this: 40 million people in this country have not taken the vaccine. Now, if they really are accurate on that, that means that 40 million people do not want to play ball with the New World Order. How many people have I said repeatedly are going to come here to the Ozark Plateau? 40 million. I figure that can support 50 million more coming. Wow, that's power. 40 million people that have a brain. There's 40 million people in this country that have a brain. There's 40 million people in this country that don't want to be bow down to the New World Order. There's 40 million people in this country that don't want to take the mark of the beast. There's 40 million people that don't want to get vaccinated. There's 40 million good people in this country that want to do what God wants them to do and live free. Come here to the Ozark Plateau, and sooner than later. Drive now or walk later. DNOWL. Drive now or walk later. Oh, I'm still on. Hey, hallelujah. Is that Prince? I can't see any other way you could pronounce that. Osili. What are your thoughts on the human frequency affecting the psyche? Are you talking about the Schumann frequency? Yeah. and we made bracelets and the tablet. I'm sitting here with my eyes closed with me. And if you've read my stuff on it, then go ahead and if you agree with me, put it out there. Not I can deal with a little while on here. Question to Jen and Zach. Okay. Number or email or any contact information without their permission. If I get offline, call me, okay? Somebody say yes to you. Come on, guys. Jim bailed out for a while. He said he'd be back. Cool. 5x5. That's good. So we're maybe done buffering. I don't know what the heck the problem is. It must normally bad weather does it, so it must be some storm or something going on. Who knows? Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? Okay. Anybody have any input on Q? And only God can judge me. Do you want to give it a name or something that'd be a little bit easier to say? OGCJM. OGCJM. I'm going to say call you OC. Only OG. Only God can judge me. Only OGCJM. OG. 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 You want to put any input on it? You have a more specific question, or you think it's a human being, or what? Q. Who is Q? Anybody got any input? Who is Q? Anybody want to put any input there? Oh, wow. There's an interesting one. Everybody see that? For now. Okay, Jerry, for now. Let's 5x5. Okay, Jerry, for now. Okay. Okay, Jerry. Doesn't mean a thing in the world. Is that okay? I'll get your email. Probably that's what you're talking about. If we could deal with a little bit more, if you can't write, if you have a problem with texting, use a swipe app or a speak to text app. You talk in a whole sentence. I'm going to cut on that. I'm going to get probably a little more irate about it as time goes on. I'm assuming Zap you meant okay, Jerry, meaning okay. I'll hook you two up, but it could also mean, see, it's given this thing that 5x5, okay, okay signal is okay, Jerry. I don't know which one you meant, but I'm assuming you meant I will get you and Jen in touch. Okay, so that's what I'm assuming you meant. If you meant something different, then let me know. It's getting chilly in here, dadgummit. Okay, so who is Q? Ed and Jen said, I think Q is AI. And she's even got a name, right? Eagle Eye. What was that? Aria, Eagle Eye, and come on, help me out here. Yes, Siri. Yeah. What is the purpose of Q? Tell me that, Ed and Jen. Come on. Tell me what the purpose of Q is. Or God, only God can judge me. OG. OG, tell me what you think Q is and why it's in operation. What's it doing? What's the purpose of Q? Had some quite interesting things about they they're saying, and this is like the subterfuge part of it. They're saying is WWG1, where we go one, we go all. WWG1, WGA, yeah. Where we go and we go all. That was on a plaque on John F. Kennedy's sailboat from his dad, something to do with his father too. It was on Kennedy's sailboat, and if you look at the Kennedy Memorial, the Kennedy Monument in Washington D.C. or wherever, Arlington, it's a Q. The sidewalks form a perfect Q. I mean, a round circle and with a Q thing in it. It is a Q. So there's that idea, and all that doesn't mean that Robert Kennedy or John Jr. Kennedy is Q, but Q is a personal friend of Trump going way back. I mean, the young Kennedy man, Robert or John, whichever one, was a friend of Donald Trump going way back to 20, 30 years ago, when Trump said that he was the peacemaker and having peace to the Middle East, peace to Israel. Yeah, there's some nefarious stuff going on there for sure. We should be aware of it. I'm not going to talk about it too much here because I don't want to get in trouble. But yeah, what is the purpose of Q? Anybody got any input on that? I'm still online. Wow, cool. We have one vote that Q's AI. Give them the team of patriots. What? Q is a team of patriots? Yeah, I could say that. Michael Quinn, how you doing? I'm picking you up loud and clear. Good. He gives me 5, 4.5. 5 up and 1 down. I don't know. Jack Green, haven't heard anything about Q, but Q is a live person. Q knows too much. Doesn't mean, well, what do you mean knows too much? Not to be, AI knows far more than people. 5 by 5 loud and clear. Cool, awesome. Maybe for a while. Q is to awaken people to the truth. Huh? What in the world do you mean by that? I don't get it. You just said it was AI, so the AI is good? Q had us research on our own. Yippee-ki-yay. Yeah, WWG1, WGA, yeah. I understand that. Q is also a distraction, yep. On the bell on Kennedy's cell. Yeah, it's on the bell, that's right. Thank you, good job. Yeah, I knew it was a plaque or something. Yeah, I remember the bell now, yeah. Jerry, just letting you know that I'm listening to you. Good. Okay. Yeah, too, let's people know the truth. Please no false info, okay? Jerry, connect us so Princess Diana's grave is cute. Really? I didn't know that. Those are turned yourself 50. Hey, how you doing, Lisa? How you doing? Oh, it's so good to have you on here. Get some of your stories on here. The lady in Huntsville, Arkansas. I'd love to talk about that someday. That's very interesting. Jerry, there's too much of a delay in YT live chat that your conversation and people's responses become disjointed. Absolutely, I totally agree. That's not the problem. The problem is using pronouns instead of nouns. That's the biggest problem, really. Miscommunication. We need to say, there's a limit. I'm on a lot of these chats, and I will speak to text until you'll see, it only allows you like maybe 200 letters, maybe 100, maybe 200 characters. So then you got to stop. It'll go gray, and I just hit the X until it backs up to where I can send it. So that one down was an accident. Oh. Is there 10 now? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. There's only 9 now. Should have given me 10. Yes, AI sum is good. Are you serious? Wow. Hey, I'll need to watch a movie, okay? Genesis. Genisys. Genesis. Terminator Genesis. It's not Linda Thompson. Linda, whatever her name is. Linda. Hunt, Linda. Help me out here. Linda Hamilton. Not Linda. It's another lady, but it's a different story. But they got. Is Arnold in there? Yeah, Arnold's in it. But anyway, watch that movie. Remember, Genesis is Skynet. Remember, Google is Skynet. Trying to kill off the entire human race. I never resonated with me, so I have always ignored it. Good. I know nothing about Q, but the me thinks it is a government psyop. Some people think it is Trump. Yeah, Trump is very much into it. Very much. Kayleigh McEnany, he said his post person. They had some heavy Q stuff. Both my sons got very much into it too. So they had a massive amount of, what was the number, 117? The destroyer with 117 on it. Timestamps for 117. I mean, they were very meticulous about it. 17 is the 17th letter of the alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q. 17th letter. So 17 is a very key letter. Count it on your fingers if you don't believe me. Okay, so Q is interesting. What's the thing you keep hearing from Q though? Trust the plan. Okay, trust the plan, correct? Let me get a drink. I'm getting cold. Trust the plan. There's a plan. There's this grand plan. Trust the plan. Trust the plan. Trust the plan. Correct? Okay. I assume you all can see everybody can see what you guys are writing back and forth. Correct? Yeah. Okay. So trust the plan. Q. Trust the plan. You hear that over and over again. Gematria. Ed and Jen. Gematria. That's good. I understand what I don't know what you're referring to, but everybody knows what gematria is, but that is not a sentence and doesn't say anything. Not chiding you, I'm just saying fact. Not a sentence and doesn't convey anything. So I could say football. That doesn't mean anything. Nobody has told me why I was humming, what tune I was humming earlier, and what movie it was from, and why I was humming it. Come on, people. Extract cranium from rectal defector. There you go, Jen. You know, friends, this book, the whole Q plan, is good for nothing more than to use in the smallest room of your house behind you. It ain't worth the paper it's printed on. I said that about a book one time. The author did not take it well. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to draw some similarities here, and there's a book you should, if you want to get the book and read the whole thing. I can't tell you the page number off the top of my head. I can look it up. Somebody give me a link on that. Dadgummit. Hold on. Wow. Mm-hmm. Come on. What's going on here? Why am I talking on there? Come on. Jack, gematria is the study of numbers, and you take like when you take Obama, what's his name, Obama bin Laden, or Bush Laden, you take the number of somebody's name, the total value of the numbers in Hebrew or Greek, and it gives you information about them. What's a good best one? I can't think of one off the top of my head, but somebody give her an example. Yeah, it's numbers. It's codes by numbers. A lot of it's in the Bible. A lot of meanings in the Bible. Okay, so get back to Q here. I want to take notes. Q. Must be delayed quite a bit. On my tablet, I'm doing other things. I'm talking, but I'm doing other things. It's not live, that's for sure. Delayed quite a bit. Okay. Hold on, I'm going to take some notes here since nobody else will do it. Why? Gematria. Numbers. Gematria. Gematria. There you go, finally. Okay, Q. There is a book, not Alexander Solzhenitsyn, Anatoliy. The title of the book is New Lies for Old. New, like new present, new word, new life. New lies, like not telling the truth, but telling lies for old. New Lies for Old by Alexander somebody, Alexei or Anatoly. I don't remember his last name, but look it up. In that book, he talks about if you remember your history, this is important. If you don't remember history, you're doomed to repeat it. And I'm telling you that we will repeat history because the one thing we learn from history, we do learn something from history, and that is that we don't learn anything from history. Therefore, we're doomed to repeat it. There is something you learn from history, and it's very true. We don't ever learn anything from history. I do. Okay, so listen. During the Bolshevik Revolution of 1917, which, by the way, there was a failed Bolshevik Revolution in 1908. Okay, and I'm not going to look at who fomented it or who did it, but the truth behind it. But in 1917, there was a Bolshevik Revolution. Okay, communist takeover of Russia. I think everybody's familiar with that. What's the biggest famous movie? Dr. Zhivago is the main movie about the Bolshevik Revolution. The doctor gets conscripted into the military and blah blah blah. Okay, so during the Bolshevik Revolution, there was a counter-revolution. What is a counter-revolution? It's what they did, what our special forces did in a free republic, a free Christian republic, the Republic of Khmer. We went in, special forces, and trained people, recruited people to. Special Forces Handbook says your mission is to recruit, train, and equip indigenous personnel for the purposes of guerrilla warfare. That's what they did. They went in, and I lived with a guy for 4 years that was there when it happened. They went in and they trained battalions, 500 people at a time, companies and battalions of people that were willing to fight communism. And he said, we knew what was going to happen. We tried to adopt a little kid, 12-year-old kid. He said he was not as tall as the M16 that I issued him. If you can imagine a little boy carrying a rifle that was taller than he was to fight communism. Because what we did, we trained all these people. We drew all the people out that were willing to fight, and then pulled out all support, food, ammunition, communication, everything. Pulled everything out, and all of them were slaughtered. You can watch a movie about it. In fact, Bill talked about it tonight. He said The Killing Fields. Watch the movie The Killing Fields. Hang S. Nor, and oh come on, Linda Hunt, the little short lady, midget lady, Linda Hunt, and Uh, oh, somebody help me out there. The main character was Michael. I don't know. I'll try to think of it. Anyway, Killing Fields was about the a free republic, the Republic of Khmer, who was set up. We our special forces went in and drew everybody out, like hundreds of thousands of people that were willing to fight communism in that country. And then we withdrew all support and left them to be slaughtered by the Khmer Rouge. It's now the Republic of, not instead of the Republic of Khmer, it's now, that was a Pol Pot regime, Khmer Rouge, Pol Pot regime. It's now the Cambodia. It's not a republic, it's a communist country, Cambodia. So there you go. That's what Q's about. Oh, that's not to make the connection. In the book New Lies for Old, he talks about at the same time as the Bolshevik Revolution, there was a counter-revolution. And I kid you not, guess what the name of it was? Operation Trust. And what they did, they took a lot of high-ranking generals who were conservative, who were not communists, and they used them to draw out all the people who are willing to fight communism, okay? Who are willing to fight. They got a hold of all the patriots and trained them and set up little factions, little cells, resistance cells, underground of sorts, and trained them. And of course, these generals had a really good hot smoking line, like we're good people. If you will listen to, who's the Secretary of State under Trump? Somebody throw out his name. Come on. Can't think of it off the top of my head. Listen to his speech. That's just, Mike Pompeo. Listen to him online. Pull him up on YouTube and listen to his speech. We are going to usher in a new world order, quote unquote, something like that. The words are word for word. We're going to bring about a new world order, a new order. We're going to be part of the new order. This is Trump's Secretary of State. People, if you think there's anything good about Q, you are sadly mistaken and very grossly deceived and very not cool. And it's not, it may be AI, but there's definitely some massive genius behind it. But to say it's not human, it's not AI because it's too smart, huh? AI is a computer. It's got all the knowledge in the world. So don't tell me that. Anyway. Very devious. It's history repeating itself. Q is history repeating itself. Trust the plan. Operation Trust. Niet Tovarich. Learn to speak Russian and Chinese if you believe Q is going to help us. And Trump is not a good guy. If you think Trump's a good guy, you are poor, demented, benighted soul. I love those light bulbs. Use them in the goat shit. What light bulbs? Hey, thank you, Lisa. A complete sentence, people. Except for the fact that, again, a pronoun. Those light bulbs. I don't know what she's talking about. I do probably. I'm assuming LED, but I didn't see anything about light bulbs. I didn't see anything about light bulbs in here. I'm going to scroll back a little bit. And then, see, it takes me time to go back and try to figure out what the hell somebody's talking about. I don't know anything. I have no idea. I'll assume you mean the LED light bulb, but nobody said anything about any light bulbs that I can see. So, infrared, thermal, heat lamps. Heat lamps would be good. Maybe somebody's saying about heat lamps. I don't know. Maybe crystal. Maybe she's using crystals. Are you using crystals in your goat shed? That'd be good. The girl with that Ozark journey. I saw her speaking for some corporation. What does that mean, for some corporation? Oh, she does. Look, her job, people, her job is advertising, okay? She does advertising for people. You work for Walmart, you're working for the enemy. You're working for whatever, you're working for the enemy. So, here we go again. Jim and Linda, gematria. Why do you do that? Why? Okay, Zimbabwe, Zach. Let's tone it down, Zach. Let's tone it down. Good grief. I know this woman personally. I met her. Zimbabwe, Zach, knock it off. That'll get you suspended. Don't be saying things you don't know anything about and you don't know anything about her. Okay, just didn't know what it was. Again, what it was. Nouns, pronouns. Use nouns, not pronouns. Gematria probably, but like when you write out the word traditions in Greek, add the number value of each letter, it comes up 666. Yeah. Yeah, and 666 adds up to a lot of things. If you, for real, my sincerest apologies. You just seem to disappear. Okay. Okay, so Zach apologized to Lisa, or to Ozark Girl. Oz Girl. Haven't heard anyone mention anything about the Discord group. Zach did. Said, Bowie, Zach, I know Jerry personally, and he knows very well that I'm not a psyop. Yep. Amen. Hallelujah. Yeah, I explained that already, Lisa. That's your job. You do advertising. So sorry, left off in a long time. Was keeping up with them. Then I lost my phone. Yeah, probably in for a long time. Then lost them. Yeah. Okay, so everybody's on the same page there. Yeah. Let me just say something here. One time, a guy that was living in Spain at the time got on he read my writings on a group called Alternate Market. It was started by a little young kid named Brandon Smith. And it was a phenomenal group. It was very well set up. It had what you call beta testers, and they tested the software. They had it beefed up to just no end. It was just a phenomenally well run group, except for one problem. The guy that founded it, Brandon Smith, the guy that called the shots, he didn't have any balls to take care of the group. He did not moderate the group. He didn't care about the group, and it died. It got flushed down the toilet. The people that started the group, the people that provided the software, that created the genius, the brains, the IT people behind it, left the group because of one single solitary asshole. I don't ever want to see that happen again. It happens a lot. Okay. This guy would attack women just mercilessly, and Brandon says, "Well, just get tough skin, you know, if you don't like it, leave, you know." So people left, and it destroyed the group. It's worthless now. Anyway, a guy got on there from Spain. He got on the group, read my writings, and joined the group specifically to interact with me. He did not tell me who he was. He didn't tell me anything about him or anything. He didn't introduce himself to me, nothing. He just started writing and putting his opinion on the group. And one of it was, what's happening here in Spain is going to happen in the United States, and people in the United States are fat, dumb, and lazy. And he got jumped on, he got piled on, he got attacked. People came after him like dogs on, coyotes on a wounded sheep, you know. And I defended him. I said, hey, he's right. He's right. He's absolutely right. The reason that the Roman Empire went down was because, according to the guy that wrote the book on the subject, help me out, The Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire by Edward Gibbon, a 7-volume work, which I happen to be in the trailer for Beyond Off Grid documentary, right? The reason I'm in that trailer, it's a 1 minute 11 second trailer, and I'm in it. I'm the second person in it. That because when the guy got done with interviewing me for for that documentary, Beyond Off Grid, okay, and he put $250,000 of his own money into that. That's what cost him $250,000 to put into that documentary. So please get that and watch it. You can watch some of it online. I don't know how much. You know, get it, buy it if you have to, but get it, watch it. A lot of genius stuff in there. But my point is here, and we're getting onto that, is this bunny trail. I'll try to get back to what I was talking about. But he He fade out, fog out, not fogged out. I'm offline right now. Hold on. Let me check to get back on. I'm buffering. I'm buffering. See the little circle going on in my eyes. Speaking of eyes going squirrely, you guys probably seen the one already of the some lady in Germany was talking about vaccinations, how everybody's got to get vaccinated, and then her left eye starts going squirrely, and she passes out. Same with Heather Hamilton or whatever her name was, Heather somebody. The comedian said, "I've been triple vaxxed." Poof, passes out. I think God's one comment was, I believe this is probably true. God is bringing judgment on these people. You know, you're gonna mock God. You're dead. You know, you're gone. Boom. I'll pull your life plug. Poof, you're gone. You're done for. Everybody out of the pool. Game's over. Recess time. Judgment time. Game 2-minute warning. We're about down to 2-minute warning, people. Okay, so now I lost my own train of thought. Tell me what I was talking about. What was I talking about? I was talking about somebody. Michael Quinn. Hey, please listen to this, everybody. Michael Quinn says, I use speech to text. It's way faster and a lot easier. Yeah, people stop using your thumbs, pecking away at your phone. Shouldn't even have in your hand any more than you absolutely have to. Okay, Zimbabwe's I understand. I got you. I'm zonked. And then just like all the soccer players drop like flies from the vaccine. Yep. Pilots, you got to have more than one pilot on planes from now because they're dropping like flies. Yeah. Okay, so I was talking about something. Somebody tell me what I was talking about. Right in the middle of it too, and I lost my train of thought. Okay, reconstruct. We were talking about Ozark Girl. Vaccine. Talk about that. Come on, somebody tell me what I was talking about. You know, if anybody cares. Okay. Maybe not. There's too many bunny trails and backstories here. Rewind. Rewind. Health. Vaccine. Q. We covered Q. Gematria. Numbers. Montana, Arkansas. Missouri, Craton. Electric universe model. Tornadoes. Way off track. Could somebody please tell me what I was talking about? Trump. Group in Spain, yeah. I'm going to pick up the group in Spain. So guys in Spain, right? Alt market, yeah, that's where I was covering. Okay. So this guy in Spain gets on alt market, and I end up defending him. And then I was talking about, Edward Gibbon, Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire. And then I went from that, because Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire, I went to the interview for the trailer for Beyond Off Grid, because at the end of the normal, we had a bunch of canned. This is what he read me enough that he wanted to interview me and give me my opinion. So he'd ask me a question, loaded question, and I would give the answer. He wanted to record, and then he got done with all that. He had a whole bunch of those, and we had disagreed on, this is what we're going to say. This is what I'm going to talk. You're going to ask me the question. I'm going to give you the answer. How all interviews are done. And then he said, "Okay, now give me your." No, then he said, "Okay, now." He asked me some questions that he hadn't prepared me for. First one was, what does America and ancient Rome have in common? And I was like, well, Edward Gibbon wrote a book, a 7-volume work called The Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire. And in that book, in that volume, in that work, he states that Rome fell because of two reasons: pusillanimous indolence. The general population got lazy, and they were cowardly laziness. Pusillanimous is cowardly, and indolence is lazy. They got lazy cowardice. I said, isn't that quite the description of America? Boom, I'm in the trailer. Very cool. And that was having read that like 40 years before, word for word, you know. So, boom, I'm in the trailer. Yeah, very cool. I didn't get much time in the movie, in the documentary, but that's fine. I'm not upset or anything because it was, I was the very last one to interview. I was surprised I got any time in it at all. So anyway, what I'm getting at is Edward Gibbon declined to follow their own empire, pusillanimous indolence. So this guy says that, this guy from, his name was Patrick Greenshield from Spain, says Americans are fat, dumb, and lazy. And I was like, yeah, he's right. Americans are fat, dumb, and lazy. And I said, Rome, ancient Rome, pusillanimous indolence, Edward Gibbon decline and follow the Roman Empire. We're going down. Our population is fat, dumb, and lazy, and we're cowards to boot. Cowardly, and indolent, lazy, cowardly laziness, lazy cowardice would be the simplest way to put it. Lazy, fat, and cowards. Lazy cowards. Yeah. So we became very good friends. We went back and forth a lot. Come to find out, he's in Spain, stuck in Spain. He's from America, would like to get back, can't get back. They won't let him in. He's married to a Russian woman. Oh my gosh, what a horrible thing, you know. I'm just kidding, you know. That was facetious or sarcastic or whatever. But he's got all kinds of problems. It's $5,000 for this and $5,000 for that and $5,000 for this to do anything, to file any papers, you know. So they're milking him, and I don't know if he ever did get back. So one day he said, you know, if I come to the Ozarks, what's it like for black people? I said, what do you ask that for? He goes, because I'm black. I said, oh, you're black? I didn't know you're black. You know, I couldn't tell. I was talking on the phone or nothing. He was very, very educated, very refined, you know. The man had been a E.C. Chubb. Look that up. It was a financial investment firm, one of these big high-dollar investment firms. He had dealt with like 150 countries around the world, societies and countries, you know, knowing their tax rates and everything, you know. I mean, language, customs, you name it, you know, so he could converse with the people. Super intelligent man. One of the two most intelligent people I've ever, well, three most intelligent people I've ever dealt with. Jim Fox was another one. I'll go into him, so his story some other time. So anyway, so, yeah, pusillanimous indolence, lazy, fat, dumb, stupid. Yeah, that's America. So, why that was all background for what? Patrick Greenshield. I don't know. Let me say this. Maybe this is where I was going with it. Maybe this is why I talked about Patrick Greenshield and alt market. I got an alt market, started writing. He read my writings, was so impressed with me. In fact, one time he said, your writings are a lifeline for my family here in Spain. That's what he said, quote unquote. So there's people that are key pieces to this whole thing. And I'll say that to everybody here, that Ozark, what do we call it? Ozark Girl. Ozark Journey to Self-Sufficiency is key. Is an absolute key player in this whole thing. In my life, too. I mean, her video series on the mystery map, and I did video responses to it. I think I did 2 or maybe 3 videos on that. That mystery map is one of the most phenomenal pieces of work ever done in the whole history of mankind. The foresight, the prophetic, the sense of foresight that a man, vision that man put into that map. And I talked to the guy on the phone a couple of times. Yeah, phenomenal. Oh my gosh. Imagine a big, gigantic triangle from Great Lakes down to mid-Texas, down to the east coast of South Carolina. This is the region. The first group of the gathering, listen to me people, the gathering of obedient people. To him shall the gathering of the obedient people be. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come, and unto him shall the gathering of the besieged obedient people be. People are going to gather to the besieged obedient people are going to gather to Shiloh, and Shiloh is tranquility. So I'm just saying that there will be a place, one place where a remnant will gather to, and they will be besieged. They will be surrounded. They will be almost utterly decimated. They'll be attacked, besieged. Besieged. I'll say besieged, not attacked. Besieged is a better word. Besieged meaning they're still outside and they can't get in. Okay, there's gonna be a reason they can't get in. I'll tell you that in a little while. Come back to Lisa and Ozark Girl and Huntsville, the Huntsville thing. That's why they won't be able to get in. So maybe this guy's map. Oh my word. Maybe that was symbolic. Maybe our dreams symbolic. Yes, they are. Wow. This gigantic fortified city might have been the whole Ozarks. I don't know. Could have been. I don't know. Anyway, that's a whole bunch of dreams. This guy had dreams every single night, like wake up soaked in sweat, from the crazy dreams he was having. This is a different guy than what I was talking about earlier. But anyway, so yeah, Lisa is a blessing. This is a blessed sister. One of the most hardest working people I've ever met, and one of the most intelligent and sharp. So don't judge people by the cover. If don't assume things. People want to look for the devil demons under every rock. Don't be looking for demons in somebody else's backyard and somebody else's home when you haven't been there. And I have been there. I think I've said enough on that. I just want to say that there are very, very few people that I know and have met for such a long time, known for such a long time, and have met personally. What a meeting! Big old fat bald guy comes walking down a hill, and this skinny little lady's walking up a hill. Says, are you who I think you are? I'm like, yep, I am. Oh my gosh. Well, you haven't met. Yeah, I haven't met Jack. I haven't met Deb. I haven't met, you know, Ed and Jen. Hadn't met Jim and Linda. Haven't met Leah and Nick. Haven't met any of you people. Most people on the race over. Haven't met you. Haven't met Common Sense Homestead. Haven't met, you know, virtually anybody on here. I have met Lisa. I just want to tell you. I mean, you want to attack her? Come after me first, okay? And if she was here, I would defend her with my life. I'd lay down my life for her. And I would for about anybody on here too. I started on a thought earlier, and I got to come back to this right now. Right now, there's people who need help. I started talking about Jack, and then I started talking about Rock and Dave, and I got off track. Jack needs help. Jacqueline, little Jacqueline. Her dad wanted a boy, and they had a girl, so he named her Little Jack. She was a tomboy. This woman was a diesel mechanic, a heavy equipment operator. She's does construction. She builds things, does tools. She's made her own tools. She can design things, and she gets by. She's still alive, amazingly. She's had some miraculous recoveries. She passed out. I don't know if it was a stroke or whatever, but was frozen on a payment for how long, Jack? If you want to tell everybody. Hours. Her feet were frozen. Her face was frozen. And they said they'd have to operate on her face and remove the flesh and amputate her feet. She was miraculously healed. She's still alive today, in spite of the fact that One time in her trailer, I don't know if it was just last winter, but her feet were so cold, and she looked down, and the water for the cats was frozen solid, and she prayed. Shut up. Stop it. Get a grip on yourself. Okay. She prayed, God, please don't let my feet have to be amputated. I don't want to have gangrene and have to have them amputated. Black bite, black, turn black, frostbite, and they have to be amputated. Gangrene and all that. So she finished that prayer, and a big fat cat that was sitting up on the counter jumped down, came over, and wrapped itself on her feet and warmed them up. Now I ask you, why is it that God can send an angel to tell a cat, go lay on that lady's feet? Look how much she needs you. Or look at that's a really nice place to lay. Go freeze your tummy off on that woman's feet and keep her warm. And the cat immediately did it. Why can a cat do that, but God can't get a human being to help this woman? I've asked 2 people that live within half an hour of her. People that have lots of money and lots of resources, massive amounts of resources. Spirit Lake Ranch. Look it up. Spring Lake Ranch. Ministry from a communist country, Romania. Lots of money, lots of $600 a night to rent their little building, meeting room. $600 a night to rent that thing. And they want to help homeless people supposedly through another person that also lives nearby, millionaire. And I asked both of them to help her, and both of them said no. I don't understand that. How can a cat listen to God and a human won't listen to God that claims to be a believer, claims to be wanting to help people, claims to be wanting to help homeless people, claims to want to help the poor and needy, and refuses to do it when asked? I do not understand that. So here's my point. I want her out of there. I want to get her out of there. I want her over here. I want her to help her. I want her to help me. Okay? There's no reason that a 71-year-old woman should be a chance of freezing to death every single night of the year during the winter. Hey, Jack, I ordered you the filters. The wicks. She's got a good little kerosene heater and needs a wick for it. It's like a kerosene. Anyway, I got them today. 2 of them are heading your way. I'll keep you apprised when they get there, or when they, in the delivery time. When they're out for delivery, I'll let you know, and they'll be delivered that same day. So, my point is, I'd like some help for this woman. If anybody can come up and help her. She's near Festus. Find Festus, or she's somewhere near there. There are 2 little bitty towns nearby there that she's. I don't know which one's closest to her, but one's like a hole in the wall. She said the sign on the edge of town that has the population on it, they didn't use 2 signs. They just used 1 sign. They put the population on both sides of the sign. So they only needed 1 sign. The town's so small, so they just used it front and back. They didn't want to waste the money on a second sign. So anyway, yeah, up in the Ozarks, but not a good place. One of the worst places in the world. One of the most dangerous, most evil places in the entire world is here in the Ozarks. And that was from a military vet that I'm certain is dead by now. I used to be on regular touch with him, texting, phone call, and email, and I have not had an answer. Every 2 or 3 weeks I'll write him and never get a response. And he was afraid of being killed by Satanist meth dealers. And that's what Jack's surrounded by, Satanist meth dealers. So I want her out of there. Another thing I'll say, I believe that God is going to bring you people here. Ed and Jen, Jim and Linda, Leah and Nick, Jack, Dave, Rock, Ray. There's going to be a gathering. There's going to be a glorious unfolding. Okay, so there's a plan coming together. Now I'm going to get me a 100% organic, herbal, non-GMO, gluten-free cigar so I can chomp on it and say, I love it when a plan comes together. My voice is going, it's getting cold. Thank you, Jim and Linda, for that soup in Spain. I got picked up that Trump. Oh yeah. So Trump is Another thing, I put the link on the other day. Go to my last one stream. I put a link in there. I'll put it in tonight too. Nathan Leal, Watchman's Cry. The website is called Watchman's Cry. The guy's name is Nathan Leal. He has a thing on Trump, a 5 or 6 part series on that. Read that whole damn series if you think Trump is Q and Q is Trump or Q is good. Look at that. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Okay, so are we interjecting numbers and letters here, mixing them up? About exactly, Lisa. Oh, so glad. Okay, so I'm Zoe. I'm 20. No, I know you're not 20. The Z looks like a 2. Okay, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I got it. I'm so glad you're doing okay. Yeah. Okay, I'm not. I don't even know to ask for anything in particular. I'm asking for people that might be willing to help Jack, and that means physical, on-site, hands-on. You know, back, hands, elbows, feet. I don't want to say nothing but asses and elbows. Somebody to go over and actually help. And I'd be there in a heartbeat. I would have been there already. I don't have a vehicle, and I wouldn't really be the best person to go. I mean, I know stuff, but I'm not in good physical shape. Oh, I could pack some heat. I'd love to go there and pack some heat. No, I'm not. I'm trying to think that way. There's people over there that need to be removed from this existence. We could pray that. We could pray imprecatory prayers. These people have skinned a cat alive, left it on her front porch. A kitten, as I recall. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I misunderstood her. Maybe I didn't hear her right. But I thought this. Now, recently another cat was killed. It was like bled dry. The skin was there. That was it. It wasn't eaten by an animal. It wasn't chewed up. Were the bones all gone? Was it just the skin? They skinned it and left the skin there. They didn't burn it. They didn't. It wasn't an animal would have chewed up the whole thing. But the entire skin was there, like it was just stripped of its skin, guts, everything gone. So satanic ritual stuff. We missed a cat. We're missing a cat here. I think it might have happened here. I see connections that Jack's told me about. So anyway, my point is that it's a hellhole over there. The guy that I talked earlier, Gabriel, was a military guy. He would be out on operations for a special forces team extraction where they're providing covering fire for him, and they're ankle deep, boot deep in 50 caliber casings, brass casings from the machine gun they're firing. Been there, done that. Okay. He said he's been in Zimbabwe. No, sorry, just kidding. Somalia. Been in Africa. Been all over the world, even Washington D.C. And if you're not aware of the fact, Washington D.C. is a fairly satanic place. I think you can all understand that. One of you couples was been there, lived there for a while, but it's a satanic, evil place. This guy told me, he said, I have never in my life been anywhere as evil as here, meaning in the Ozark Plateau, right where Jack is. So infested with meth and Satanism and witchcraft and covens Not funny. Not funny at all. So not something to go into lightly. I mean, so when I ask for help, I'm not. I'm just saying I don't even know what to ask for. Prayer, yeah, absolute prayer. We can pray imprecatory prayers. You see this comedian lady Heather, whatever her name was, that dropped dead at the same time. Triple back, boom, dead, or dropped anyway. And this commentator in Germany, oh, you got to vax everybody, boom, maybe they're dead. I could see God just going like, sorry, you want to make fun of me? I'm pulling your plug. Your time's over on earth. And that's what I see happening. But we can pray imprecatory prayers. Psalm 37, I believe, is one. Look it up, somebody. Um, but we can pray against these people. Intercessory prayer, spiritual warfare. That's what we need to be doing. And, come against them and protection for Zach. Zach and Jack. Jack and Zach. Okay, so I'm just asking for help. Financial would be, there's some things she could do. She's going to need help one way or another. She's got a truck. She needs to get it working. I don't know. Enough said. Just pray about it for right now. I guess leave it there. If any get physical help her, that'd be about all she would need, really. That's about it. Group in Spain, Trump, pro-vax. I guess we're about done here. I'll smoke Stogie with you. I'm not saying necessarily smoking it. I'm just saying I want to chomp on it. Okay, the reference there was A-Team. Okay, Colonel Hannibal Smith. Watch the movie. The movie was pretty good. The TV series A-Team. They come up with some super complicated way to con somebody or take somebody down, the bad guys down, and then when it worked out, he gave, I love it when a plan comes together. That's what I want to have the cigar for. I don't want to necessarily smoke it. I just want to chomp on it. So, because that's what I see happening. God has a plan. And when I sit here and have to listen to these men talk about all the bad things, the evil things, God, they're doing this and they're doing this and they're doing this and they're doing this and this never ends. It's the bullshit they can spew out. And you give them 1 hour and they'll come up with 20 or 30 different things that the devil's doing. Okay, that's what's going on. I'll do one last question here from Zimbabwe Zach, and then I'm done. Um, so financial would be like there's some things she could do. She's gonna need. Sort of late a few minutes. Yeah, interesting. Somebody recently commented on one of my things, or she was online, I think, on one of the streams a little while, and very interesting channel name. I'm trying to recall it. Give me a break. I'm sorry. I hope I can remember it. I can't. It's too complicated. But anyway, when I said, "Oh, hello, how are you doing?" She said, "You remember?" I said, "Of course I remember you." It's like, "Oh, I know." It wasn't Saffron. She's out in California. Oh, all I could say, I don't know anything about that other sister. I think it was a sister. I'm not sure, but I just she goes, "You remember me?" I said, "Of course I remember you." She's always been a blessing, and talking, commenting a thing. I don't ever forget that. And Tamara, I know that we've talked or somehow or email, text, phone. I don't remember, but all I can say is I have a very good feeling, vibe, blessing. And so I would want to speak blessing on you and everybody that's been on the streams. Bless you, and touch base with me. I'll put my email in the drop down the description as soon as I get off here. Right now for everybody, diamonds with no vowels, DMNDS2001 at yahoo.com. And I'll say it: Delta Mike November Delta Sierra DMNDS. That's diamonds with no vowels. It's like pretend it's Hebrew. Take out the vowels, but it's plural. It's like my whole diamond family. Diamonds, all us diamonds. No vowels, 2001 at yahoo.com. And you can also just write, I just see the writing on the wall here. This is just happening. I've already used it. My other email that I use, I've used it only as archive to send things to, backup. And that is how to get, and if you got pen and paper or my phone number, somebody write my phone number. I can't do it. Put my phone number on here. Ed and Jen, whoever's still on here, put my phone number on here for everybody to see. I can't do it. I can't write on here for whatever reason. I don't think it's fair. It ain't fair. I can't do it. Tamara, so good to hear from you. It's just a real blessing. Yeah, it's been a while. Definitely has. All I can say is I just have a blessed feeling about you. Okay, so last question. I'm done here. I mean, I didn't do this one to any length, and we can talk about this on private. But Zach asked a question about meth in the Ozarks. A truck driver drove out all the way from Kabul to take me to dinner. I went to Springfield and we had dinner, and he told me a few interesting facts. But one of them was that you ready for this? In California, your high quality meth is called 417. That's our area code. So yeah, 417 meth from the Ozarks are great for meth because it's mountains. You can go back in any crook and holler and have a meth lab going on, and you'll drive by and see a dump, and you know it's a meth bunch of scummy little people. No, but it looks like a meth thing. But it's not something to be scared of. So what? Who cares? There's rattlesnakes here. There's bugs here. There's bad people. There's good people here. Who the fuck cares about all that shit? If you need to get out of California. You talk about jumping out of the frying pan into the fire. No, you're going to jump out of the fire into the frying pan. I'm just telling you flat out. Get the hell out of California. Shore of the west coast is a deep, deep trench. Is that where the Marianas Trench is? I don't know. Look at Hawaii. How deep? Hawaii is 33,000 feet above the floor of the Pacific Ocean. I don't know where the Marianas Trench is. I think it's in the Pacific. But anyway, off the coast, there's a from the Rockies, from the Continental Divide west, that entire landmass could just crack and slide off. And I personally think they're going to do it. They've been fracking on the edge of the craton, deliberately perforating it. Everywhere there's an earthquake, there's a fracking operation, okay? Frack, crack, frack, crack, crack, and frack, crack, and frack, frack, crack, crack, frack. I wrote an article. I'll send it to anybody that wants to read it. Fracking on the dotted craton line. You perforate cardboard, you perforate paper, you can tear it easy, right? That's what they're doing. Fracking on top of Yellowstone, for crying out loud. This idiot. Yellowstone is on the seam of the craton. Look at the future maps. Don't take it lightly. Get out of California. Get out of Oregon. Get out of Washington. Get the hell out of there. Get out of the West Coast. China's going to be coming in through the West Coast, and the rest is coming down through Canada. So that's the way it's going to be. I'm getting chilled. I gotta quit. I'm quitting. Good night, people. Sorry about that. One last comment. Yeah, the meth thing. Yeah, there's meth here. Who cares? So what? Don't buy it. You live in California, there's a lot more meth out there than there's out here. Go to San Francisco and walk down the streets of downtown San Francisco. See where you're living in. Go into L.A. I don't reckon. I'm just kidding. I'm being very facetious. Don't go to L.A. But think about L.A. Think about San Diego. Think about what's going on there in the gangs, MS-13 and everything. Get a clue, for crying out loud. You're living on a somebody pegged it right now. Was it Jim or was it Ed? One of you two. You're living on a cantilevered, a cornice, a cantilever. I think they use the word cantilever. You're living on a cornice. That's my arm. Is the mountain? Is the east of the Rockies. Where my wrist is the Craton edge, the Continental Divide, bottom of the Pacific Ocean. The maps of the United States say, and I think there's a lot of truth to them. Look at the U.S. Navy map. Look at the U.S. satellite map. If ocean levels rise, all of them are missing a big, huge chunk of the West Coast. Utah, all that's gone. Most of California. Not all of it, most of it. So, it's science, people. It's science. Hardcore science. Florida ain't going to be there either. It's going to be underwater. Get a clue, people. That volcano Tonga, looked like there was a missile launch to take it out, create that volcano. One tactical nuke, boom, crack, boom. Volcanic explosion, really bad volcanic explosion. They can make big ones. La Palma Island, look at La Palma. Canary Islands. La Palma's the capital. Volcano, boom. 20,000 foot trench, whatever, slides the whole thing, island slides into the ocean. Florida's 10, 20, 30 feet underwater. They figure a tsunami might hit 100. Look up the average altitude of Florida. It ain't very high. And the coast is disappearing as we speak. Watch a video on YouTube. The U.S. Navy map is real. Oh, crud. U.S. Navy map is real. Map is real. La Palma. All right. Out of the frying pan into the fire. Or is it out of the fire into the frying pan? California's in the fire. Look at how much of Missouri, how much of the Ozarks has been incinerated by energy beam weapons. DEW, directed energy weapons, very much like 911. None of it. Not to say it can't happen, but none of it has. And you live in California. You're in the fire. You're living in the fire. You are literally in the fire. You have the opportunity to jump out of the fire and get into the frying pan. It'd be a lot less hot. A lot cooler here in the frying pan than in your fire that you're in right now. So I'll leave it at that. I'm not trying to hammer you, but I'm just not trying to be mean. I'm just trying to be real. And to be real, you got to be honest. And I'm just trying to be honest. So okay, done deal, dude. I'm off. Good night. 2 hours and 7 minutes. That's it. Hallelujah. Mr. Rouse, yeah, they just don't show their fans. Yeah. Ed and Jim, shall we retire to the veranda, sir, to smoke our cigar and have some scotch? Oh my. tapped and made syrup from a black walnut and the color of a fine Scotch. And I'm like, what is the color of a fine Scotch? I wouldn't know because I never had fine Scotch that I know of. I used to have a little Scotch a little bit now, and a Scotch and cigar, that would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. Yep. All right. So we retire to the veranda, sir. And then if you're happen to be on, we want to talk again. I want to go over some more things about my physical impairments, problems, and situations. I'll email you too, text you. So, all right, guys, I'm done for. Good night. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. May Father bless you and keep you, and make His face shine upon you and give you peace. May He lift up His countenance upon you and give you peace. Hallelujah. Be blessed everyone that's on here. Be blessed everyone that has been on here. Nature girl out in Florida. Doggone, never have been back on. Very sad. That was pretty cool. Who else? I don't remember. Anyway, blessings on Leah. Blessings on Lisa. Blessings on Jack. Blessings on Tamara. Blessings on Ed and Jan and Jim and Linda and Ray and Sean and Zach. Hallelujah. Blessings on everybody that's been on here. Welcome to your tribe. I'm going to try to put a link on